Most people open their hearts to cats, dogs, or maybe a horse. But some souls are drawn to something far more extraordinary. The untamed. They choose to love what others fear. Lions, tigers, wolves, even bears. These are not ordinary adoptions. They're stories of trust, courage, and connection beyond reason. Moments where wild hearts and human hearts beat as one. Stay with us as we explore the incredible bonds between humans and the wild. Stories that prove love has no limits, and that sometimes family comes with fur, fangs, and the spirit of freedom itself. Some people can't even imagine a bear living like a pet. But for one family in Russia, it's been their reality for more than 2 decades. They adopted this gentle giant when he was just 3 months old, and for nearly 23 years, he's been part of their family. He eats around 23 kilos of fish, eggs, and vegetables every day, loves milk and cakes, and has never hurt anyone. Smart, friendly, and full of personality. He proves that sometimes love can truly tame the wild. Most people raise cats or dogs, but this couple decided to raise 2 grizzly bears. For over 21 years, their owner says if one of them stands on his hind legs, he's almost 3 meters tall. He also explains that you must treat them gently and with respect, never with aggression, because just one playful swipe could be fatal. So, when these big boys get a little too rough, you simply smile and pretend you're okay with their heavy jokes. In 1989, Costa Rican fisherman Gilberto Chito Shedden discovered a wounded crocodile near the Reventazon River. The creature had been shot in the head and was on the brink of death. Chito took him home, named him Pocho, and nursed him back to health with love and care. To everyone's surprise, Pocho refused to return to the wild. Instead, he chose to stay with Chayu, becoming a beloved member of his family. For over 20 years, Chato and Pocho shared an unbreakable bond. They swam together in the river, performed for tourists, and lived side by side in harmony. Pocho even allowed Chito to kiss him on the snout, a rare display of trust from a wild animal. Their story captivated hearts worldwide, showcasing the profound connection that can exist between humans and wildlife. In 2011, Pocho passed away of natural causes. The town of Siquiris held a public funeral to honor him, and his taxidermied remains are now displayed in a local museum, preserving the legacy of a friendship that transcended species. For over 20 years, Eiji, a majestic polar bear, has shared an incredible bond with Mark and Dawn Dumas. Rescued as a tiny cub when her mother could no longer care for her, Eiji was raised with love, patience, and trust. Becoming more than an animal in their care, she became family. Each day, Aji eats around 20 pounds of meat, carefully prepared to keep her strong and healthy, and spends hours swimming, playing, and simply enjoying life alongside the people she loves. Despite her size, over 800 pounds, her gentle heart shines through in every interaction. Aigiji's story reached the world beyond their home. She starred in films like Alaska, The Journey Home, and Operation Arctic, capturing the hearts of audiences everywhere. Yet her most treasured moments were never on camera. They were the quiet, tender times with the family who raised her, swimming together, sharing affection, and living in mutual respect. Aji reminds us that love transcends species, that trust is built over time, and that family isn't always defined by nature. Sometimes it's chosen, nurtured, and cherished, one extraordinary bond at a time. In her Orlando backyard, Janice shares her life with Janda, a 400-pound orange Bengal, and Saber, a 600-pound white Bengal. These majestic giants aren't just pets, they're her family. Her journey began in 1995 when she left her desk job to follow her passion for exotic animals. Years later, she brought home Janda and, shortly after, Saber as a tiny 2-week-old cub. Over the years, she hand-fed them, cared for their every need, and built a bond that most could never imagine. Despite their size, Janda and Saber are gentle, affectionate, and trusting. Saber even has a bedtime ritual, suckling on Janice's finger before sleep. Janice's story is a testament to patience, love, and respect. It shows that sometimes the wildest hearts can become the most devoted family members. Some bonds are silent, built on instinct. Humaid al-Bukay shares a world with his big cats that few can imagine. He looks past the size and the claws, seeing only a soul. It's a relationship based on profound respect and trust. A connection so deep that a gentle nudge is a declaration of love, and a quiet gaze speaks volumes. Some people study animals from a distance. Sean Ellis chose a far braver path. For years, he lived among wild wolves, immersing himself in their dens, learning their language, and earning their trust. He didn't just observe them. He became part of their world, understanding the depth of their bonds, their loyalty, and their emotions. Ellis learned that wolves are more than predators, they are family, friends, and guardians of each other. Every growl, every nuzzle, every howl told a story. A story he became part of. Back in the UK, he founded the Wolfpack Project, where humans and wolves interact in harmony, bridging the gap between the wild and us. Sean Ellis's life reminds us that with patience, respect, and courage, even the fiercest hearts can open to trust. And that sometimes family comes with fur, fangs, and the spirit of the wild. Some companions come with fur, others come with scales. Meet Wally, a 5-foot-long, 60-pound alligator who lives in Joy Henny's living room in York Haven, Pennsylvania. But Wally is no ordinary reptile. He's Joy's emotional support animal. Joy found Wally in Florida when the alligator was just a year old. After losing several close friends in a short span, Joy fell into a deep depression. One day, Wally crawled up beside him, resting his head on Joey's face. That simple act of affection sparked a bond that would change both their lives. Wally doesn't bite. He doesn't hiss. Instead, he offers hugs, snuggles, and companionship. He sits on the couch, watches TV, and even attends public events with Joy. Together, they've brought joy to nursing homes, schools, and even a Phillies game where Wally was the star attraction. Their story isn't just about an unusual pet. It's about healing, connection, and the unexpected ways love can come into our lives, even from a cold-blooded friend. Some heroes don't wear capes. They wear empathy. John Aspinall, a British conservationist, devoted his life to saving endangered gorillas and other wild animals. At Howlett's Wild Animal Park, he created spaces that mimicked the jungles of Africa, where gorillas could roam, play, and form natural families. Among them was Guy, a silverback who became more than just an animal in a zoo. He trusted, he bonded, he showed curiosity and affection toward the humans who cared for him. Aspinall's approach was simple yet profound. Treat the wild with respect, and love will bridge the gap. His work didn't just save species. It showed the world that connection, trust, and understanding can exist even between humans and the fiercest hearts of the wild. Through his dedication, John Aspinall proved that sometimes the strongest families are made not by blood, but by care, patience, and shared trust. This family's love for camels turned into a beautiful way of life. Their passion inspired them to create their very own camel farm, using these gentle giants to travel around town and even go grocery shopping. And the best part, the father proudly picks up his kids from school on a camel's back. Imagine the other kids saying, "Forget cars, we want a camel too." In a world where fear often separates us from nature, these stories remind us that love knows no species. Whether it's a man sharing his home with a polar bear, a family raising a tiger, or a soul finding comfort in an alligator's embrace, each bond tells us one truth. Kindness transcends instinct. Compassion bridges every divide. Because sometimes the wildest hearts teach us what it truly means to be human. If these stories touched your heart, don't forget to share the love. And remember, the world becomes a gentler place every time we choose understanding over fear.